to the blog. Today we're going to have a feeding day and we're going to go through the whole process at New Forest Morphs, how we go about feeding our animals. And Jared and Emily are away, so I'm kind of self-filming today. This is my first self-film. Hopefully you're getting these images okay. So we're going to start off with making a list of what we need to feed tonight. So we've got close to 120 animals that need feeding, and I've made a list of what's required. So the first thing is to plan what you need. So let's just take a look at my planning list for feeding. Okay, so here we have the different types of foods. Now let's start at the very top of the feeding chain, which is our babies, hatchlings. So we're going to go for 10 rat pups, and I'll show you what they look like in a second. 38 rat fluffs for our progressing hatchlings. 9 small weaners, which is the next stage up, for our progressive hatchlings. 20 large weaners for our subadults. 28 small rats for our adults. 10 Maltese, medium size, for our picky feeders. 2 mice, medium, for extremely picky feeders that only eat mice. And 2 mice pups for assist feed. So that's the plan. That gives us a total of 119 feeds. So we won't be able to bring everything to you on that one, but we'll give you a sample of some of the feeding. Jared will be home tonight, so we'll be doing this tonight. But I'll just show you all the preparation that needs to go through as part of the feeding process. So you can see what we have. We have a kettle ready for tonight, so we like to boil the water to put the heads of the rats into that before we feed. But before we get to that stage, we need to defrost. So we've got some defrost containers here, some feeding containers we've got our, ready to go. We've got our tongs that we're going to use to feed, and over here we've got our sink, which supplies us with all the fresh water that we need, and over here we have our freezer. Now let me just show you what we've got in here. So we picked this up second hand. I think it was 120 quid. Jared's labelled them all out, so you can see all the trays in here. So to start with, we have the top. Let's have a little look here. We've got our Maltese, and we need 10 Maltese. So they come in packs of 10, which is useful. And the Maltese is the best food you could possibly give your ball python, because they are high in protein, and we need 10 of those. So there's the 10 on there, and they're actually mice, but they're soft African furred mice. Let's have a little look and see what they're looking like. Now what I tend to do is I tend to put those in a small little tray, which I've got here. Let's get the tray out, and what we'll do is we'll just put those in there, let them defrost. They won't take long to defrost, but these are Maltese. They're very expensive, they're about £1 each, but they don't smell. Snakes poo nice with them, and it's like candy to a snake, that. So any fussy feeders that are not feeding, Maltese is your ultimate backup. And you can see what they look like. They're not that big. These are medium. They can go bigger, but you'll spend £2 for a larger Maltese. These are £1 each, and that size is good for adults that are fussy, but also sub-adults that you want to pack on some weight. Now these are supplied through Simon Ling, who is excellent, and he uses cold-blooded movements as part of his operations to deliver these, and we got these delivered I think within a day or two of order. So I'd recommend using him for your feeding needs, and the food is of high quality. You can see the high quality Maltese that we're using here. So there's your 10 Maltese, and what we'll do is we'll put those to defrost them. The key is not to soak them in water. A lot of people make the mistake of actually soaking them in hot water or warm water. The key is to defrost them at room temperature, or if you want some accelerated defrost, I put them into a spare rub on a heat mat. So they go into there, so you can see that goes back, and then gently they'll warm up during the course of the day. and then I'll come out and put them out on the side once they've defrosted and let that smell permeate in the reptile house, and then you'll find all your snakes have plenty of time to let those feeding juices build. So that was let's tick those off as we go. So we've got 10 rat fluffs, we need some rat pups, and we need some weaners. So let's go next for the rat pups. And the only problem with this second-hand freezer is the drawers are a bit awkward. Oh, that was okay, that worked okay. Actually, let's go down, mice. Now Jazz called it mice, but in actual fact we've run out of space for the small weaners, so he's actually put weaners in here as well. The mice are in this side. We need 2 mice. Let's take those out. And again, the mice can go in a small tray. Small tray out. So we need a couple of mice. Now, God, it's really hard when you're filming and doing it yourself. It's not easier. Hopefully you're still getting these images. And what I might do actually, to make it easier, I'll get out all the food sources, lay them out, and then show you exactly what we've got. But before I do that, I'll just show you the setup in the freezer. So you've got, in here you've got your mice, and over here you've got your, these are called, let me have a little look. Yeah, these ones are called weaners. These are large weaners. So let's just see how many large weaners. We need 20 of those. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 2 bags of those. They're large wieners. So I get 2 of those out. So we've got those, and then we need 38 rat fluffs for our hatchlings. Let's see if we can find the rat fluffs. Let's push those back. Rat fluffs are the next ones down. So Jazz labelled it all up. And we need 38 of these. Now obviously there's the rat fluffs behind. These aren't rat fluffs. These are the rat fluffs. So these are the next stage up from a rat pup. And progressive hatchlings love these. And sometimes some top breeders, and we have ourselves, have used rat fluffs straight into the hatchlings if they're big hatchlings. So there's 10 in a packet, we need 38, so that's virtually 4 packets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's get those out. Four packets of the rat fluffs. There we go. So it's all mounting up. Next one we need is, where are we? That was 9 small wieners. So they were the large wieners. Now we need 9 small wieners. So that's have a look and see if we can find the small wieners now. They might be actually in here. There they are. There's 10 there, so we'll take out a packet of 10. So now you can see just how much food we've got to go through here. So let's see how we're doing. There we go. So we've got 28 small rats is the next one on our list. That's for the adults. 28 small rats. We'll finish with those. Push those back. It's a bit awkward, but they will hopefully go back. More rat wieners, small rats. Now these are 5 in a pack, I think. And we need 6 packs. And that's the size of your small rats, and we need 6 of those. So they'll go into this big container here. Get 6 of those out. And just bear with me. 1, 2, that's half of them, 3. Get another 3. 1, 2. 3. And then we've got our small rats, and at the very bottom are our rat pups and the mice that we need for the assist feeds. Let's go down and get those. So here's a bag of rat pups. Have a little look. No, Now I've wrapped them up in paper for a reason, because they come in huge bags, but they get frost damage if you don't wrap them up in paper. So how many do we need? We need 10. I'll count 10 out of there. And then the last one here is, we've got 2 mice pups is what we need. Now these are the smallest for the assist feeds. If you've got problem snakes that are small and you have to assist feed, you need these little babies. Just look how small they are. And these are mice fluffs, and we need 2 of those. Right, I'm going to cut the film here for a second, get everything out, show you them all in order, but you can see just how much food we get through, and that's more, well, we feed twice a week, so the hatchlings get fed twice a week or every 4 days, but the adults get fed once a week. So you know, it's quite a lot of investment in feed here, but you can see that why it takes so long to feed these animals. I mean, technically you shouldn't really be feeding everything in one night, but I'm going to have Jared assist me tonight, so we'll share that responsibility together. You can spread it over a couple of nights if you don't want to feed so many animals, but most of ours are pretty good feeders, and we'll give you a demonstration on how to go about doing that. So I'll just cut it here for now, and then we'll come back to the second part. Well, welcome back. It's 8:35, and Jared has just come all the way back from a little mini break to join me with the Monday night feed. So as I explained this morning, I've prepared all the food, got everything all laid out. We're now ready to start feeding. Before we do that, I'm just going to show you one of the most important things to do on feed night is to put on the kettle, and not for a cup of tea, although you can have a cup of tea if you fancy, but it's literally get that absolutely boiling hot. You want that to be as hot as possible, in my opinion. The hotter the head on the rat, the better the strike rate in my book. So Jared's already preheated it. So Jared uses just a simple one of these, and we'll use that for now. Just pour that in to about there. Over the course of our feeding session, we'll go back and fill that up 3 or 4 times to make sure it's always hot. And the problem I've found in the past is that when that cools off, because the snakes use their heat pads to eat the food, if you don't have it really hot, some of them just do not strike. So it's important to have it as hot as possible. Right, let's go over to our baby hatchlings. We're going to start off with our new hatchlings, and Jared, perhaps you'll demonstrate the first feed for us.
Sure.
So we're going to have a rat fluff on one of our, should we go for the Ultramel Mojave female?
Yeah, sounds good.
She's normally a good feeder. We'll start off with a positive feed and just show you how it's done. So let's come over here, come and join me. Before we do that, you'll notice that there's no lighting on down that end. And again, snakes feed better in the dark because they hunt at night. Jared, what I'd like you to do is, can you dim these lights for us? We've got these smart lights in here, and Jared's on his iPhone can actually change that to dimmer. So now you've got nice dim lights here now. So, is that okay? Right, let's go over to the feeding area. So we've got our feeding table all laid out here, and it does smell of rats in here. And if you look carefully at some of the snakes, you'll see that they're coming to the end of their rubs. Come and see the baby hatchlings. You'll see they're smelling the food, and what you're looking for is, just have a look at some of these babies. They're coming to the rubs. Here's an example. The calico is a good example, Jared. So just look at the calico. She's searching for food. The yellow belly, searching for food. The GHI puta, is he searching for food?
He's in there.
He's in there.
There's his little nose.
Yeah. So they all want food. So before you start feeding, this has been 8 hours of home cooking, if you like. You know, mum's home cooking, as I said earlier. When mum's cooking that fresh bread and you walk in and you can smell it in the oven, you can't wait to try some of her fresh bread. Same principle with rats. If it's permeating that smell for 6 or 8 hours, they are gagging for it. So I'm hoping that the strike rate will be really good tonight. So Jared, we'll switch cameras. I'll leave you to do the business, and then let's do a couple of demonstrations. And what we'll do is we're going to demonstrate on problem feeders, assist feeders. We're going to cover baby hatchlings, new hatchlings to try and get them going. We're going to try and feed our adults as well. We'll try and do as much as we can tonight in the time that we've got. So Jared, just talk us through the technique, and over to you.
Sure. Right, so first of all, we're going to grab, with the rat, you want to go for something that's about the same size as the thickness of the body, or maybe a little bit thicker. So you dip the head in to start off with,
So you don't put the whole thing in, just
I
the
just
head?
put the head so they know where to strike. Because
And
you
how
want them to eat head first.
And how long would you leave the head in there for?
Just 5 seconds.
Okay.
Dab it off.
Yeah.
Make sure that you dry it off. I'll just use a piece of tissue roll.
Yep. And the purpose of drying off is that snakes don't like wet water dripping on their faces when they're eating.
Yeah, it might put them off.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay.
So we'll give it to our Mojave Ultra Male girl.
Starburst.
See, she's gagging for it. She'll smash this. Hold on to it for a little bit.
Now she's wrapped
And
around the
then
tongs a little bit, hasn't she?
Just got to ease her off, and there you go.
Let's have a little look. So she's wrapped her body around it. She's got her head. So she puts her head into its head, and then she wraps her body around the body. So that's why they're called constrictors, is because they constrict. A live rat needs to be suffocated before they eat. So they suffocate it with their muscles in their body. And as soon as, how long does it take to normally do a kill?
I've never fed live, so I don't know.
Okay.
But
So-
they do just fine on frozen thawed, so.
Excellent. And once we've done that, we then have a reading record. You know, I told you how important it was to keep a record. We've got a number on there, which is number 69. Go over to the computer, and Jared will record the date fed, the type of food, and also we record shedding, other things on here as we go. So Jared's going to record that. It's a rat fluff, which is one step up from a rat pup, and that's recorded.
Simple as that.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you to feed a rat pup to a smaller hatchling. So let's find a small hatchling that you can feed a rat pup to.
Find the rat pup. Okay, so this is a rat pup.
Yep.
Bit smaller than a rat fluff, as you can see here.
Yeah. Same principle, dip the head.
Same principle, dip the head in.
Yep.
Now you feed rat pups to brand new babies. Some
mean-
brand new babies go straight onto fluffs, but you
Yeah.
get a few picky ones.
Billy at Mutation Creation, he doesn't bother with pups at all. He feeds live though. He goes straight into fluffs with all his hatchlings, and only with the odd exception.
Right.
So yeah.
So we'll give it to one of our fire het clowns. They've eaten a few times.
There is
Obviously
one
this
in-
one's pooed.
There is one in shed as well, so you got to be careful. Most snakes that are in shed won't feed, but this one might.
Yeah, this one will eat it.
You reckon?
Absolutely. Look at that.
Shut for it. She's just sniffing it.
Sometimes they take a bit of time.
Yeah.
This one might even want to fluff. There you go.
Oh, it came out quite far out of the rub there, Jared.
That's hunting it.
Yeah.
There you go. Simple as that.
So
Done.
look. So let's just zoom in. See her. So she's got her jaws around the head of the pup, and her body's wrapped around its body, and she'll do that. See
That's
how?
her last meal there.
Right. That's another good indicator. I always try to let them poo before we feed them. So if they pooed, it's a good sign that they're ready for the next meal. You don't want to be blocking up and packing in lots of food with a snake that's full of lots and lots of food, because that can block them out, just like us.
Exactly.
So it's important to keep an eye on sheds, pooing, the lot. So Jared's going to record that. So that's how you feed a pup. I think the next one is we'll go
Wean.
for a small wean. Let's have a look at the size of the small weans.
So this is a small wean rat. Sorry for the lighting, everyone, but
Okay,
a bit
fine.
bigger.
Yeah. So, and that's got a lot more fur on it as well, hasn't it?
Yeah. So again, you want to look at the snake. You want to look at the thickness of its body, and then we usually give a rat a little bit thicker than the thickest part of its body.
Well, Billy taught me the principle. He said that you can go up to 20% of its body width. So, say the width of that wiener is, say, I don't know, let's say it's 2 inches, and the snake's body is 2.5, just under 2 inches. It will take it.
Right. So this boy can do. See the thickness of his body. If I can do it without him taking it, it's
Yeah.
about the same there. See?
Yeah, you're matching
No.
the thickness of the rat with the thickness of the body. Here he goes. He's showing an interest. Now, is this a yellow belly I'm looking at here?
This is a fire pastel yellow belly.
Fire pastel yellow belly.
It's got a het pied and het clown as well.
Het pied and het clown. Let's see if he'll take that.
He's interested. Sometimes you've got to wiggle it about a little bit.
Yeah,
Sometimes the presentation as well. So if we take him back here,
yeah.
present it a bit flatter, sometimes then they'll go for it.
Okay. Look at the S shape. He's ready to strike.
We might need it a little bit hotter.
Do you want to heat it up again?
Yeah, we do.
Sometimes just coming back and giving it time to think, and then going back to it after you've heated up the head again. He thinks he's missed his chance. Don't worry, I've got my eye on him, Jared. Don't worry. He thinks he's
if you're
missed his
feeding by yourself, don't turn your back.
Yeah, he's he
We'll try that again.
He thinks he's missed his meal, and he might strike straight away now. But let's just let him see if he'll come onto it. But I can see the head of the rat is pointing downwards rather than the angle of the mouth, and I think sometimes they want it at a different angle. Imparting a bit of action, making it move a little bit is a good thing. Oh, look at that! He just wanted that to move, didn't he? The moment
Give it a little tug, make sure he's got it nice and tight, otherwise he might drop it.
Wow, so what you've done there, Jared, is you've actually given a little bit of movement to the prey.
Make it act like
He
it's
wants to
real.
pounce, yeah, it's got to almost give the impression that it's moving.
Yeah.
If it's just wobbling in front of him, may not want it, but if as soon as it moves, he wants to strike. So there we go. So we've done the... Let's move up to the next one, which is a large wiener now. Of course, we'll come back and check these. They don't take about 10 or 15 minutes to digest or get out into their tummies. We will go back and check every single snake to make sure there's nothing left over. And certainly the next morning we'll check.
That's a large wiener, a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
Just who to give this to?
Right. Calico?
No, I'm thinking my girl Calypso.
Let me just... Oh, I like to do this, Joe. Take the water off completely. Like that, with the tissue. Calypso? Is that the clown?
So shall I pastel clown, 100% het pied, Calypso.
Okay. Is she up for it?
Ready? Here it is.
We're not used to having this camera. Ooh.
There we go. See that? She's got it at an angle. She'll work her way around that and sort it out.
Yeah.
Release the tongs, pop her in, done.
Let's have a little look.
Job done.
Beautiful, Gerard. Very, very nice indeed. So we're moving up to the prey sizes now. Should we record these before we forget, Gerard?
Yes.
So let's record those because it's so easy to forget recording these things. I know it takes extra time to record, but it's well worth it because when we sell a snake, we want to give a feeding record to the new owner, but also as accurate as we can. But also the other reason for doing it is you can actually have a record of the times when it's in shed and not feeding, so you can get kind of reassures you that just because it's in shed. So we have a look at this and see this one. So this is she's obviously been feeding longer than this, but let's see if I can home in on this.
This from when we moved into the new facility.
So when we moved into the new facility, which was the 27th of July, she was on Rut Fluffs. Then she took a Rut pup. Which one was this? This is
Fire Pastel Yellow Belly.
Oh, this is one of our babies.
Yeah, it's a little boy.
Okay, and that was from Tony Hersey that gave us that CB19, which means that's the 2019 baby. So it was taking Rut Fluffs, then it took a pup.
That's on the same day, so it still wanted to eat and we had a pup left over, so
okay,
thought let's give it to him.
Yeah, so we topped him up, and then because he took 2 meals that day, we decided to give him a rat wiener small, and then a couple of rat wieners, rat fluffs, rat wieners, rat wieners. You can see that we're feeding quite often here, every four days where possible.
He's quite picky sometimes. Sometimes he won't take a wiener, he needs a fluff instead. So
yeah.
Just get some food inside your snakes and you're alright.
Yeah. Okay,
and
so
the other one that ate was number 1.
Yep, number 1, which is the calico female.
Right. That was the wasn't the calico.
Oh, that was the clown.
Pastel clown.
Pastel clown.
Het pied.
Yep. How much?
That's another one from Tony.
Yeah. How much does she weigh now? Because I put a weight on it.
She's just over 750, 759.
759. So she won't be far off that 1,000. Only takes what, another couple of months and she'll be up to 1,000, do you think?
Exactly.
The thing is, these hatchlings, they start small and they slowly build up. They might be 50 when they're born. To get them to 100 is a really good milestone. And then from 100 to 200 to 300 to 400, as they get bigger, they take bigger prey items and they pack on the weight. So it might take a whole year and a half to get up to a certain size. And what have we got here, Jack?
So this is the large, well, it's a small rat, but this is usually the biggest we'll go with our snakes.
Yeah.
They don't really need much more than that. I mean, we have a snake that would smash something double that size.
Yeah.
But we don't want her to get any bigger, so we maintain feed her.
Okay. Right, let's have a look and see.
So I usually dip these in a bit more because with the bigger rats, you want them to see the whole rat, so they know they've got a nice big prey,
Yeah.
rather than just a little head.
Yeah.
So we dip that in.
10 seconds in the water now.
Yeah, you want to make sure it's nice and warm because the surface can be warm, but you want to get it warm through.
Yeah. And the snake's got these
Heat pits on their nose.
and they home in on the heat.
They home in on the heat.
Yeah, it can make a huge difference to whether they're successfully feeding or not.
There we go.
Yeah.
And
So you're going to go
that
for
one. Well, I can see here, see this girl? It's our pied female, single gene pied. Look at her at the front. Watch this. I'm either going to get bit or she's going to smash it.
She's building at the moment. She's been put to another pied male, showing interest.
Oh, there's a close call right there.
Jared. Yeah, wear your glasses when you're feeding, but she was really up for that, Jared.
Sometimes they miss, but they'll get it the next time. Hopefully. I run hot, so she's looking at my hand as well, thinking, oh, that's nice and warm. You gonna have this one?
So what I'd do now, Jared, is I'd go and reheat the head. Yeah, I'd reheat the head and represent it to her. Give her time to recall herself up again. She'll start to think, oh, have I missed my meal? So sometimes the worst thing you can do is put the food in their faces for too long. Just to give them a break, let them just think about it again, thinking, oh, have I missed my opportunity? As soon as that comes back with a hot head, she might just take it, Jared, but just watch yourself because she really is a striker.
She wants me, she doesn't want the food. This time.
She's not normally camera shy. She was one of my fussy eaters, but oh my goodness me, look at that.
She's not got very good aim, this one.
Tell you what, she's wrapped it there. Now, it's safe to pick her up now, isn't it, Jared?
Yeah, so she's only got it gently, so it's a little bit more risky, but usually when they've got a rat in their mouth, they don't care about anything else. And she'll coil around that. Obviously, you don't want to hold them while they're feeding.
Let's have a look at, can you just show me the position so I can see exactly
She's
what
not hit that very well.
She's got it though, and she'll work it round.
Exactly, so we'll leave her be.
Okay.
So don't stress her out. And she might drop it, but she'll find it again and she'll work her way down there.
Well done, Jared. So
close call.
You demonstrated not only feeding a small rat, but also potential problem feeder.
They're not called ball pythons for nothing.
No. I normally wear.
Gotta have balls.
Just as a safety precaution, because that was close, and you haven't been bitten by an adult.
Not a big one yet.
It's worth wearing your glasses or some eye protection. If you get a snake at eye level like that and you're feeding, I would always wear my glasses, because if they do actually hit and bounce off your glasses rather than take your eye out, you know. But
I got quick reactions, luckily.
yeah.
What number was she? 44. So we'll put her in again. Okay, 44.
28 today.
Small rat.
Now she's building because she's building follicles, Jared. I got her from Wheelie Balls, Chiron, and she was 1,500 grams when I got her. Do you know what she is now? And this is about...
I'd guess by the size of her, we're looking at about over 2 for sure.
She's 2'4", and
Well.
she's put on 800, 900 grams in probably, I would say, in about 8 months.
It's impressive.
And that's because I put her, when she was big enough, I put a nail to her, and she was going from being a picky eater to smashing food. So there's another little trick. Obviously you wouldn't do this to get a female up to size, but what they do is as soon as they start hooking up to a male, they realise that they're going to be building follicles, they're going to be producing eggs, which are going to be very demanding in her body. And the instinct of a snake is just to feed.
Yeah.
So she went from being a picky feeder to an aggressive feeder.
Yeah.
And she hasn't stopped eating for the last 4 months.
So this one here is a little bit different.
Are you a cis feeder?
This is one of our ones that's not taken by themselves yet. But we try, we offer first.
So this is our banana hatchling. that he's had about 3 assist meals. He's thrown about 3 as well.
We'll try him with a rat pup, because that's about the same thickness as his body.
Yep.
We might not want that, we might have to assist feed him.
Yep.
But that's alright. We've got to do what we've got to do.
Has he struck a bit of food before for you?
He's hit it once before, but then he left it. So if he doesn't take it, we want to get some food in him. We waited about 5 weeks until we started assist feeding him, just so he had a good chance. But he's not a fan, so we're going to assist feed him again.
Okay.
In hope, I'm going to try and assist feed him with something bigger, in hope that he gets a full meal. See, it's about the same as his body.
Yeah.
Now this looks like I'm going to hurt the snake, but it really doesn't hurt the snake unless you do it wrong. So I always hold that part of his tail with my fingers, just gently, and go behind the head, like this. Sometimes it takes a while to get the hold.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Now, she does not like it. Okay, so you want to hold it like that. You then get the rat and you lift up here, and this will open the mouth like that. See, you put the rat inside the mouth.
Yeah.
You push it in as far as you can without hurting her.
Yeah.
So she's going to try everything she can to drop that.
Yeah.
What I then like to do is get the head and push it in a bit further. So now she's got it in her body, she's wrapped around it like a normal snake would do.
Yeah.
Now she might try and spit it out, or she might try and eat that.
Yeah.
Hopefully she goes to eat it.
Okay. Now would you put her back in her rub?
Put her back
so
in the
she can
darkness, check her at the end of the night.
Okay.
If she hasn't eaten, we'll try with a smaller one.
Yeah.
And we don't want to stress her out too much. So we put her back in, and we hope that she finishes that.
Should we feed Midge while we're at it? Because Midge was
This
our
is
small.
Midge.
Yeah, Midge is our smallest ever baby we've ever hatched, and it was out of a boob egg, and she weighed in at 20 grams. She dropped down to 13. We tried so hard to feed her different things, and she just wasn't putting on any weight. Just going to try and, before you assist feed, always try to present to see if they'll take it without being assisted, because as they get the hang of assist feeding, they start to get into it. So give it a chance to hit it normally.
See, he just pulls away.
So yeah.
Now he or she is quite a weak animal. We're hoping he's got a small kink on his back, see that?
Yeah.
He sheds alright, but he's not eating the way we want him to. He's a normal het ultra male.
Normal het ultra male. So we're doing our
if
best.
he makes it, he's only ever going to be a pet.
Yeah.
Never ever breed with a kinked
He's got
animal.
a small kink, and that kink came because he was in a very small boob egg.
He was in a boob egg. Something didn't quite go right when it was fertilised.
Yeah.
And unfortunately he got a small kink. All his brothers and sisters are healthy, but he, so again, try and pry open the mouth. Sometimes it takes a few attempts, and that's alright. Just try not to stress the animal out too much. Come on, open your mouth. There we go. So you open the mouth, pop it in, and you want to just put it, you don't want to force feed, you want to put it a little bit down his throat, just so he can't spit it back out, like that. See that?
Just hold it there, see if I can, that's it, yeah.
So now if we pop him down, or her, we don't know what this is yet, it's too small to sex.
Yeah.
And then we allow him or her to finish that food.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not ideal, he should be on bigger rats, but getting food into him or her is the most important thing right now.
Okay.
So we'll allow them to finish it in peace.
Right, so we've covered 2 assist feeds. We'll come back tonight and see how they've done.
We'll wash our hands after that because it's gas.
Okay. So hopefully then we've demonstrated everything. We've got some multis here for some what I call fussy. Let's now try feeding some fussy feeders. I've got a female Enchi that was a really fussy feeder, and I worked out that she'd only have mice and small mice. She fasted for about 6 months, and I was getting really worried. And she lost about 400 grams, and I was thinking she's getting very long and thin. And I really, as a brand new breeder, I was really worried about her. And I spoke to a guy who owned a pet shop, a reptile shop, and he said, try the technique of actually, I was washing out the flavour of the rat by putting them in water when I was defrosting. He said, put them in a bag and naturally defrost them, don't wash out all the flavour of the animal. And it turned out this Enchi was unsettled. She wasn't settling. She took a long time to settle. Now when we moved her into our new facility, she went off food. Before that she was smashing food left, right and centre. And I think that she doesn't settle well, and some snakes take a while to settle. So when you buy a new hatchling, Jared, do you let it settle for a week before you feed it? What's the recommended time span?
It's different with each animal really. We just sold an animal, and he sent me a message 2 days after saying the animal smashed food. So everyone's got different ways of doing it. I don't believe there's a right and wrong way. But sometimes the animal will take, sometimes they won't.
Now, would you like to have a go at trying to feed a proper feeder?
Because give it a go.
This is the other thing, and we can talk
Now
about
what's this? So now this has gone a bit cold.
Yeah.
So we'll reheat this.
Yeah.
Give it every opportunity.
My Enchi girl likes it hot. I mean, we're talking as hot as you can get, Jack. And I say she went off her food because we moved into the facility, but I also made another mistake, because I actually put a male to her and she wasn't having it, and she was banging in the rub. The banana went in there. I was trying to make a banana Enchi, and she wasn't having it, and there was a hell of a lot of noise going on. I watched them and they weren't seeing eye to eye, and it was the wrong kind of banging, if you know what I'm saying. So I pulled out the banana and then let her settle. Thought too much changing. I made a mistake. I thought she was settling, she was being feeding, she was up to weight, and what I should have done was let her have a couple of weeks to settle into the new home before introducing that male.
Yeah. And
she's a bit of a bitch because she will do what she wants to do, and as much as I've got plans for her, and this is part of respecting an animal's agency in a way, is you've got to go with the animal's feelings. You can't just suddenly impose your will on them.
It's true. And you got to be ready.
This one here, honestly, this Enchi, she's a lovely girl. I'll show you this beautiful Enchi. Where is she?
She's on Maltese.
She's on Maltese. Her name is Eve. And I'll just show you her. There she is. Oh, she's showing an interest, Jack. And look, she's showing an interest. Now, if you get her to feed, I'll be amazed. She doesn't like water on the head. She likes heat. She likes sudden movement and at ground level. I found out she likes it ground level. So, move it around. I'll be amazed if you get her to feed tonight, because she has not fed for about 3 weeks. She's licking and flavouring it. So, sudden movements, Jared. So jerking around, going to the side of her head, not in her face. She won't take it in her face. You've got to be kind of jerking it. Give the impression it's a live animal, scurrying up and down. That's it. So I'm kind of teaching all these techniques really, because I know the animal, I know what she does, but she's showing an interest, and this one can take 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes, and sometimes you just leave her now, go back and reheat the head, let her think about she's lost her food, Jared. So let her think as though she's lost her food. Give her time to rethink about whether she wants this, and then go back to her. Now, the fact is she's packed on 400, 500 grams before she came into it, so she's in great shape. So I'm not really too worried that she's not eating straight away, because she's packed on a lot of weight. But we'll try. And you just got to keep trying. Eventually they'll surprise you and they'll turn on their feelings. Oh, right, we're back on. We've just changed the battery. Sorry about that. Our battery just died. Now, Jared, she's had a time to rethink about it, so
we'll try again. Also, as well, sometimes it's worth trying different kinds of feed. So obviously, this is a multi which she's had before.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want a different smell.
You could try a mouse, or even try
a rat.
A rat even, like you say, but I think she's so fussy. Maltese normally work for me.
We'll try it.
Yeah. So this is the reality. Some snakes won't feed, and you just gotta be patient. And
they can go quite a while without food. So
well, I have a friend who had a big girl, or was it a big boy? I can't remember. Massive, 2.5 kilogram snake. 18 months it fasted.
Yeah.
And went back onto food.
They do that to you.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Right, let's try the rat.
She only takes rats, Jared, when she's really up for feeding. If I'm like, because I know her better than you do, because I've been feeding her for the last 12 months. And that's another thing, is it takes time to unlock your animal sometimes. You've got to learn what they want, how they want it. And do you want to video me having a go? See if I can maybe get her to feed.
Yeah.
Because I know her better than you, and I don't think she'll take that, Jared. No, I know her.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's been making moves towards it though.
Yeah? Okay.
That's that.
Okay, go on then. Maybe. You might be right. She's showing an interest. Right. Tell you what, Jared, let's leave her for a bit, come back to I'll have a go. Oh, you should drop feed her. Because that was the other idea. Some animals would take an animal.
There you go.
Jared, you
Who knows your snake best? You can do the rest of the feeding tonight. I'm out. Peace.
You know, it was really funny. You dropped that by mistake, didn't you?
No.
No,
I tried that.
What I'm saying to you is you dropped the snake by mistake before you dropped it again.
The first one, yeah.
And you notice a reaction on the drop. Now we've just unlocked. She's a drop feeder.
That's what it is.
So, and that's why it's worth speaking to the previous owner, because I bought that from Debbie in Bournemouth. And I didn't really, because I was quite new to this, I never asked her exactly how she likes it.
Yeah.
So I've just worked out now, and Jared's just unlocked it for me. I've learnt something tonight about my own snake I've had for a year. She's a drop feeder. Very good, Jared.
Happens. Each snake's different. You got to try them with different things, different.
She just wants you to drop it. Wow, that's amazing.
So we'll write that on her record. What
Yeah.
number is she?
So she's number
51.
51. Now she hasn't fed for 3 or 4 weeks. So Jad, I'm super happy about that, because
Good news.
Enchi's one of my favourite genes, and I want to get the banana into her.
Yeah.
So if she starts eating, was that a small rat or was that a...
That was a full-grown small rat.
What?
Small.
So I've been spending a lot of money on Maltese. In reality, she's a rat eater, but she just wants it to be drop fed.
Drop feed. And
Amazing.
sometimes they don't want to drop feed. Sometimes they do. Other times I just smash it. So.
Yeah. That's really, really clever, Jack. Now, shall I give you another problem feeder?
I could try it.
Another problem feeder.
Go on then.
We haven't got that many. We've got a couple.
Who's next?
Let me think. The one that has Penelope Pitstop has been one of my problem feeders, but she's hooked up to the banana and she's starting to feed now. But why don't you give Penelope a go? She would only eat mice for quite a long time, and it's worth changing from mice to Maltese to rats. You know, mix it up. You've got plenty of weeks in which to try and get them feeding. So don't worry on adults, that is. Obviously with hatchlings it's different. So if you're in a problem feeding situation, I got stressed because I was thinking that they had to eat every week. A snake can go on for 6, 8, 12, 15 weeks without food. And surprise you and come and start eating. But so what have you got here, Jared? Tell us.
Another small rat.
Small rat.
We'll give her the option.
She hunts at this. What? There we go. She was up for it, wasn't she? She really was up for it. Any other problem feeders? Oh look, the pastel yellow belly buttercup, Jared.
Yep.
She would only take small Maltese for me. Give her a small rat. See if she'll take a small rat.
Well, the look of her at the front of the cage, I'm guessing she will.
She's up for it. She's the one that's given us 2 eggs, which we're gonna cut tomorrow. And they're due to be cut if everything's right. They've definitely, they look right, don't they, Jared?
Yeah, they're dimpled.
They're
definitely
dimpled.
Good, healthy snakes.
So you're going to get to see the mother of this clutch tomorrow, or the clutch tomorrow. But let's see if she'll take.
Same again. Small rat.
Small rat.
Heat it up. Open her up. Offer. See if she wants it.
She's a multi-girl normally. So if you can get her to eat rats, I'll be amazed. I don't think she's ever eaten a rat for me. She is very much a multi-eater, that one. Oh. She's showing an interest, Jack. What?
There you go.
You got her off Maltese for
There's
me.
your rat.
By the way, these are
Saving you money.
these are wieners, Jared. These are wieners.
That wasn't a ween. Look at that.
Because what?
That's a.
No, they're all large wieners. These are the large rats in here, Jared.
Oh, well, we're feeding large wieners then.
You're feeding the large wiener. The large rats are in there. I put them on defrost.
Very similar size. Oh no.
So you're gonna have to remix
What's that?
this.
58.
Yeah. She normally eats a bit of prey that size, to be honest with you. So you're gonna have to change everything you've been feeding. Is actually a large wiener.
Yeah, I'll swap.
The big rats, I should have brought them out, but I've tried to let them defrost because they were so big and heavy. I put them in there for a bit longer.
Forgot about that.
Oh well, Jared.
That's fine, no eating rats.
You got meat and rats, which is good. Right, is there anything else we can share? We'll probably come back at the end. Is there anything else, Jared, on
I think
feeding?
that's it. We've done small, we've done babies, we've done medium sized and adults, problem feeders, assist feeding. So I reckon that's a pretty detailed
Okay.
feeding record.
Yeah?
But we'll come back to the assist fed ones. We'll see if they've eaten at the end.
Yeah, Jared and I have got another hour to feed everything. We'll come back to you shortly.
And you do not want to watch that.
Yeah. Alright, thanks for sharing that, Jack. We'll be back. See you later. Okay, so we've just finished our feeding session for tonight. Jared and I fed all the animals. We've had some success on some difficult feeders. We've had really good success. We checked the 3 assist feeds and all 3 of them took the food down. And the new hatchlings that we had, which were the Twilights, they took their first meal tonight as well. So there's some good news there. And the females that we're building, they also took some small rats, so they're starting to build, and the males are also taking small rats, so they're building for future breeding too. So it's been a really good, successful evening. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it helps those who are starting out, give them an idea of how to feed their animals. So tomorrow's the big day. We've got the cutting of our 2 eggs from the pastel yellow belly pied, and they're in the incubator at the moment. So tomorrow's video will be that, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the notification button, and please leave any comments and share. If there's any questions on feeding, any issues, please feel free to drop us a comment on the bottom of the link below. And it's goodbye from New Forest Morphs. It's goodbye for now.